Yes, it keeps the sound in a low vibration mode. But firstly, let me welcome you to this amazing event that we are delivering today in cooperation with Chapter, that has agreed to host this event and support us in organizing, with one office from Estonia, one of the accredited service providers, with Erica, that I represent, it's the organization of Estonian E-residency, with the Estonian Embassy in the presence of Her Excellency Christy here with us today, with the team of the E-residency program, connected online directly from Estonia. Thank you all for coming here. To open up the event, I would like to pass the floor to Her Excellency.
Yes, my name is Kristi Karelson. I'm the ambassador of Estonia in Hungary. And I'm really pleased to greet all of you here today on our common event about such an innovative and nice program called E-residency. I really would like to thank Kaptar for hosting us here today. Also, my great thanks goes to Rosen, who was the initiator of that event, actually. And I would just mention some background before they go into the substance of the program. I think it's fair to say that this program didn't start from scratch or didn't just appear from somewhere dark forest. It's another next step in the Estonian government's approach towards digitalizing the governance, digitalizing the society in Estonia, and building up e-governance from very early years of our new independence in 1990s. So e-residency was just a logical next step to that what already existed. I hope that you will get some useful information today. I hope that you will get also encouraged to research some more. You can also ask questions. You can network with us later. I know some of you are e-residents already, so you can also share your experiences later, and I wish you all a nice evening. So, please.
Today we have a really informal session of just a few short speeches. Afterwards there will be a very vibrant Q&A. You could ask anything that comes to your mind. There are no pre-prepared questions, no censorship. But before that, the floor goes to Raimo Matvere, who is joining us from Tallinn.
Hello.
Hello. The floor is
Do you
yours,
hear?
Raimo. Yes.
Yeah, the typical question, do you hear me?
Even we could see you.
That's even better. So yeah, hello, good evening. I'm Raimo. I'm head of partnerships at the E-residency team, and I'm really happy that that the event in Budapest is taking place with so many partners and hopefully with a very active crowd. So you are definitely eager to hear some facts and figures and tips and tricks today. So I will be the one who is going to give a short overview of what e-residency all about in general, but definitely next guys will dig deeper and will give some more practical information. And of course, I will be there for the Q&A as well. So feel free to ask. So just a few facts and figures when Estonia is not too familiar for you. We are a small country in Northern Europe. And as our ambassador already said, one of the things that probably makes us stand out is the fact that it's a very digitalized society. every kind of public services are online and digitally accessible. And it goes hand in hand with our startup mindset. There are more and more unicorns and successful startups growing out from Estonia. Interesting and useful fact maybe is that 1/3 of startups in Estonian startup database are actually founded by e-residents. So it's not only Estonians or Estonian companies, but they are all Estonian companies, but they are not only started by Estonians or locals, but thanks to e-residency and other programs that welcome startup-minded people, 1/3 of the startups in Estonia are created by e-residents, which is quite significant. As said, e-residency was introduced already 6.5, even 7 years ago, and basically the core idea behind that was to open up our digital infrastructure for people all around the world and to attract people to make business in Estonia with Estonia or making their business thanks to Estonian infrastructure. So it helps grow Estonian economy, but also hopefully makes those entrepreneurs happy and wealthy and successful. And of course, one important thing is that maybe it happens. It's not only having the card and the company, but something else as well. Yeah, so it's a digital e-residency is a digital identity that is given for a private person or physical person. It gives an access to Estonian e-services and enables identify oneself and do different operations and registrations and whatever purely online. It's a highly secure digital signature that comes with e-residency. So even if you are not like starting a company or doing a business, then Estonian digital ID and then signatures are also a useful tool for example, encrypting documents and then signing them digitally. And yes, it's a global community of e-residents, which is growing all the time. And you may find people with whom to have a business or fun or drink beer or just discuss today's world's problems and opportunities. But at the same time, there are some things we need to point out. E-residency is not a travel document, citizenship, visa, or residency permit, or even it does not give tax residency for private person. So basically, when you become an e-resident, you get a digital ID card, but this is without a picture, so it is not a travel document. Just to be very clear that it gives you a digital access, not access to Estonia. But if you are, of course, EU citizen living in Hungary or a resident, then traveling to Estonia should not be a big problem anyway, or moving to Estonia if you want to. And then why? Then, of course, we may say that mostly people who become e-residents do that to register EU-based company online and manage it remotely wherever they are to serve international customers, even all around the world. Security access to the wide range of different public services and as well as private ones, because when you need to use Estonian private services as well, then identification and verification that everything is quite often done by using this official digital infrastructure used for digital ID. So basically with your digital ID, you can also log into your online bank and use telecommunication services and so on. And then digitally sign contracts and then documents, encrypt them, send them securely, and then the community, of course. So how big is e-residency? I think it was yesterday when my teammate told us that now we have 85,000 e-residents. from 170 plus countries. No one is counting actually the countries anymore, and it's always like a matter of question, like which jurisdictions are like a country or what not. So we can say that's 170 plus countries, maybe even more. And these people have created 18,000 companies in Estonia, which is quite a significant number, as Estonia itself is not so big. And altogether, for example, in 2021, first half of the year, 20%, so 1/5 of all the companies created in Estonia were created by e-residents. And a few steps we can say about how to become an e-resident. So basically, yeah, everyone can apply. There are no restricted countries or regions, but few things are important. First of all, it's granted for a natural person, not a legal entities. It is not recommended to apply just for fun. Usually you need to express your wish in the applications by explaining why do you want to become an e-resident. There are usually no right and wrong answers. Quite often people say that they want to open a company, but it can be also that they want to contribute to the cultural connections or science or whatever it is or something else. It's just you need to have a clear motivation, and you cannot be Estonian citizen or resident. And open for all countries and citizenships. However, of course, every decision who are granted, for whom e-residency is granted, is evaluated separately. So yeah, that is the thing to keep in mind. And how does this work? Actually, it's first thing is to go to the dedicated website and fill out online application form. It is more thorough than it used to be some time ago. So our main recommendation usually is to take time and be as detailed and as specific as possible, because if you tend to answer only very shortly, or you try to skip some questions, then you will get additional answers later anyway. So I'd recommend to take a bit of time and don't think that if you have to say no to some of the questions, it does not automatically mean that you do not get the e-residency permit. All the answers are analyzed as a whole. So yeah, be as clear and honest and detailed as possible. Then Estonian Police and Border Guard is the organization that is going to review the application, usually within 30 days. Hopefully it goes quicker, but officially it's up to 30 days. They may send you additional questions, even if you are reapplying. It means that you already have e-residency, your card is expiring, and you are applying for a next one. Then the questions may be there as well, just they may be different, connected to your previous activities with your e-residency card, like maybe connected to your business if you have one, and so on. But yeah, it's good to be prepared for that. And it's like I think goodwill is always helpful when thinking of the questions asked. Then if you will get e-residency, usually people get, then your e-residency kit that includes your digital ID card and the reader will be sent to the pickup location within 2 to 5 weeks. I will talk about the pickup locations later as well. For Hungarian potential e-residents, the good news is, of course, that in Budapest there's an embassy that will hand out your kit. And then in general, you have 6 months time to go and pick up your card. So it is actually like relevant topic nowadays because of the COVID-19 situation and then restrictions that were present all around the world. But within 6 months, usually people have an opportunity to travel. But if you see that you are not able to take it, then of course it does make sense to contact in advance to discuss the options to relocate your card or prolong the period or whatever you need to have. Yeah, pickup locations. In general, mostly they are embassies, Estonian embassies. But in addition to that, in some places all around the world, especially the remote places, more far away from Europe, there are also some third-party pickup locations that are our partners where you can go and pick up your car. There are 40 plus locations all around the world. As said, in Budapest, you can pick it up, also in Vienna, for example. So you may need to travel abroad, so it does make sense to see whether there are any restrictions or not in traveling as well. It is possible to change the pickup location, but there is additional fee for that usually. And if possible, try to order it to the place where you definitely are going to pick it up. Overview about costs and fees. So state fee for application processing is 100 euros, but in addition to that, a special charge will be added depending on the location, pickup location. For embassies, I think it's usually always 100, but if you decide to pick it up in our third-party locations, like maybe if you happen to pick it up in Sao Paulo or Singapore or Bangkok, then extra charge will be added. Luckily, e-residency is not a subscription service, so there is no annual fee. Once you pay your application processing fee, that's it. The next one you need to pay 5 years. Basically, change of pickup location depends on many different things, like depending on the situation, how separate the two locations are, and so on. It's 10 to 80 euros. Renewal after 5 years, the whole process is the same. The costs are the same. And also when you need to replace your broken or lost card, it's also 100 to 130 euros. And it may happen that you will lose or you will forget your PIN codes. It is possible to get new ones with small extra charge. And some suggestions who to contact with if you have any questions. So general questions about e-residency or you are still don't get all the answers you would like to get today, or you miss something important, or you would like to ask some suggestions, then write to us. Our customer support is very friendly and answers quite quickly. So e-resident at gov.de is the place to turn to. If you have any questions regarding your application, whether before or during the application process, or if you somehow, for some reason, get denied, then please contact our police and border guard. And then if you would like to agree the collection of your e-residency kit, change the pickup location, and all the other relevant questions, then I'd recommend to visit the link you see on the presentation. So basically, from our website, you get all the necessary information. That's it from me. So this was the general overview of what e-residency is and how to become one. But I'm sure Tõnis will go more into detail about entrepreneurial side of being an e-resident. I guess the questions are coming in the end or now?
Well, right after all the speeches, we're going to have the panel with the Q&A. So thank you for your contribution, Raimo. We are going to put you on hold now. Stay with us. And we are going to give the floor to Tõnis Jõgeva, the head of sales at One Office. One Office is one of the accredited service providers in the marketplace of the e-residency program. And One Office is also the service provider that our organization works with
for all of our operations.
In a lot of respects. Okay, I'm applauding for myself. I hate sitting. I sit all day long at work, basically. So if anybody feels the same, you can stand up. I did prepare some slides, but they are basically keynotes for me, so you don't have to see them, actually. The introduction was short and nice by Rosen, and yes, we do help to create your Estonian business, and then there are some benefits why you should do them, and of course later you will have questions like specific to you, maybe about taxation, maybe about banking, but the main point is that every obstacle can be overcome. It's just a matter of your preference. Is it suitable for you, the solution that Estonia as a country offers you, or one office as a company offers you, or your business partners, what they offer you? So a lot of these things that we talk about just depends what you prefer, actually. So as told, I'm the head of sales, and we do actually the same kind of services in 6 countries. So not only in Estonia, we can set up your entity also in Sweden, Finland, UK, Latvia, Lithuania. So if you want to expand, you can ask help from us. And we've been employing like 50 people for around 7 years now. So we managed to optimize enough to get more and more clients in, which means that you can get quite efficient and quick like solutions from us. But part of the reason why you can get the quick solutions is because this e-residency enables you to do that. So as Raimo said, apply for the e-residency card, pick it up in Budapest, and once you have that, then it's all downhill in a sense that it's going fast, but uphill in a sense that your business is going more smoothly. And that's how actually we promote ourselves in one office, that we are making your life simple or your business simple. So if you want that, then you can contact us. A little bit about connection with Hungary. We have around 20 active clients from Hungary. I'm not sure if they're actually residing here, but their citizenship is Hungary. I checked that from our system. And I have one person contact also in Hungary, a client who's always contacting me and asking information. I don't know if he's here today, but I'm going to meet him tomorrow in his office. But we could also always use more or need more like Hungarians, because our language is supposed to be similar, but I don't know how similar it is, because tere teile kõigile means hello everybody. I don't know if it anyway sounds familiar to you. But the main core point, or how to set up your business, is that you have the e-residency card, you can do everything online. Once you have the card, you can do everything online. It's simple, which means that the bureaucracy level is low. You can get answers from the government quickly. You can get issues fixed quickly. And if the level of bureaucracy is low, then usually the costs are low as well. And this applies both to the incorporation of the business, but also the management of the business. But again, each entrepreneur does the business differently. Maybe they have like a really complicated structure. In that case, it might not be that simple and not that cheap. But again, it's compared to what? Like if you compare to Germany, then I'm fairly sure that everything is more simple. So, so yeah, it's online, low bureaucracy, and it means low cost for the startup and management. Raimo also went through the benefits, most of the benefits actually already in the beginning. And again, it all revolves around the simplicity and just quickness. And then if you want your business to have an effective back office, you are traveling a lot around the world, you need to report something to the government, you don't have to go to a fixed location, you can do it online with your e-residency card, just keep it near you at all times, and of course the computer as well. Let me see, and then I don't know if we even touch this topic, but you'll probably ask questions later. It's the taxation. Yes, there are some double taxation treaties and things that you need to consider when opening an Estonian company. But the main idea in Estonia is that your company's profits are not taxed if you keep it in the company or reinvest, for example, in the company's equipment, or even if you want to reinvest this profit, I don't know, to real estate. So you can do anything with this profit as long as you don't take it out for yourself as a private person. So that's a big benefit because, I don't know, I guess the income tax rate here is like 10 or 9 or something. 9. Yeah. So this 9%, you could use that money to invest into your business. But of course, it depends again where you actually live, how much of your business is conducted in the place where you live or in some other country or in multiple countries. So that all depends. But the core idea is that if you open your company in Estonia, the government will not touch your profit as long as you keep it in the company or reinvest it. But I just say that you keep it with the company, so you don't take it out for yourself. But definitely after, if you have like specific use case for your business, we could like network and talk more closely about it. And this is the advertisement for Estonia. But why should you choose one office? Because there's a marketplace in E-residency webpage. Go visit that. You can see a lot of, there are like very many service providers, and they are all supported or like accepted by the government that they are reliable and good companies and so on. But some are better than others, in my opinion, and we are the best. The main, since I'm leading the sales team, then they do what I hope. I tell them they do to do, but the core idea is to get no hidden fees for the client. So they, as much as possible, the whole life cycle of the business, you get the full cost. So starting the business and then managing, like accounting or whatever additional things you want, and then maybe at some point closing the business. So everything in that range, the person you're communicating in one office should tell you that, or at least tell you that how likely it is that you need this kind of costs in the future to keep the company running. Because sometimes you want a lot of different things, but in reality you don't need those different things, because again in Estonia it's quite simple to set up the company just with as yourself, and you don't have anything extra, no monthly bookkeeping, no nothing. You just have this address in Estonia, which you buy from one office, and then you do financial reporting once per year, and that's it. You don't need to do anything else. But yeah, that's the core tenets, or like my mantra is that no hidden fees and all answers in 24 hours. And what else? One office has this international experience. So again, if you want to expand to UK, which after Brexit people are afraid that it's going to be complicated, it's not. But just things that maybe you want to think ahead or like for the long term, then you get like this additional value from one office. And this all boils down to maybe the most basic thing is that you need to choose somebody that you trust. That's why I wanted to come here in person, so you could see me, that I'm a real person. Usually these kind of things are done online via emails only. And sometimes we often offer like phone calls, but people are hesitant. I don't know, either they don't have time, or they are afraid of the language skill, or just afraid of telling whatever. So it's better to see people in person as well. So that's the thing. You need to have trust, whoever you choose as your business partner who manages your company. Rosen definitely has more to tell about that, because trust is also built with the community that you have. And then the steps, Raimo already told the steps to get the e-residency, but let's assume you have the e-residency, then what you actually need to do is you need to have an address in Estonia. Since you don't have an apartment there nor an office address, then you buy this from a service provider, me. And that's all you need to incorporate it. In addition, you need to pay the state fee to actually establish the company. And that's it. That's your first few steps to get the company running, and then on top of that you need bank account. Now bank account is also something that really depends on your preferences. If you want like a traditional bank account that issues loans and I don't know, some kind of insurances, something like that, then you can be disappointed because you need to visit Estonia in person definitely for that, and you have to have like a comprehensive business plan just to make sure that this bank also knows who you are and what you want to do and why you need this Estonian bank account. It's not possible, but it's not the quick way. So the quick way to do it is to use an online fintech solution, which in my opinion, I don't know, maybe there is a downside if there's a business person here who knows a downside of fintech other than they don't issue loans, then let me know, but I've not seen that. Just based on experience, I've not seen it. So you get still like European IBAN code, you get it quickly in few days, and then you can already start issuing invoices and collecting money from your customers. And then you don't have to, basically once these 2 steps are done, your company has been registered along with the address, and you have a bank account. Optimism in me says you can do it in 2 days. Pessimist says that maybe 7 days. But in 7 days, basically, it's maximum to open a company if you have e-residency card. And after that, you can already issue invoices to your customer. But before you even start everything, and again, why we are here to introduce this program is that you should do your research. First of all, the business plan itself, or the business activity that you want to do, is it regulated? Is it regulated in Estonia? Or is it regulated in countries where your customers will be located in? Maybe it's regulated in Hungary because you'll be managing the company from Hungary, most likely. So all of those things you need to consider, and you can seek access from your local specialist for local stuff, but for this international thing, you can contact one office or just check out the marketplace. There's a lot of useful information just for free already gathered together. Then again, about the research, taxes, other obligations, just requirements. Maybe you have some specific thing that you want. I don't know, I even cannot make an example at the moment, but just something specific that you feel that you want to mention. Do the research along with your service provider, like One Office or with E-residency team or with Rosen and Erika. So that's all available for you now, actually, already now. And today, after this speech, also, like, you can already ask things from me. And just for end, about the fees, everybody are always interested about the fees. So I mentioned that this incorporation, the state fee that you have to pay to get the company registered is 190 euros. If you plan to come and live in Estonia, that's all you spend for the company registration, because you can use your own apartment in Estonia as an address. If you don't decide to do that, then you can hire a service provider to cover the address part. And that's actually the starting point, like who will provide your address. Do you want it in a prestige location in center of the city? Then contact me. If you want really low value, something in the middle of Estonian forest, then there are places like that you can hire. And it's fine because, I mean, what kind, it means that you take the registry extract, you show it to your partners. Do you do that? I don't know, maybe you do that. So if that's really important that the address is in a prestige location, then keep that in mind, that this kind of information is public. And then, so you can get it for like 150 euros per year and up to like 500 euros or maybe even more, like it depends on the service provider. Because when you get this like higher price, then you usually get a lot of additional services as well. So some people just offer address and that's it. Other service providers already offer like address plus mail scanning and forwarding. Other service providers, everything is included, like you can come there and be in the office and so on. So there are different things and you cannot directly compare everything. But I would say 190 to incorporate and then like 200 something for the address per year. And if there is only one obligation that you have to do once per year, is the annual report. And that can cost between like 100 and 1,000. It depends. Like If you have thousands and thousands of transactions per year, then hopefully you have enough turnover and revenue as well to actually pay for that high costing annual report. Because it's all dependent on like how many transactions you add separate like lines in the bank. More you have those, the higher the price. That's the logic. I cannot like say, maybe like 20 lines of transactions is like the minimum fee, like 100 euros. Anything above that is already a higher price, for us at least in one office. But it really depends also how many bank accounts you have and everything like that. But again, this is really specific for your own business, like your own business idea that you have and what you're estimating. Everything that you're estimating and planning might not turn out as you want it to be, but at least you are aware that these are the obligations. And if you have some questions later on, I will be happy to answer them actually. So, thank you from my side. I'll sit down again, the activity that I hate.
Thank you, Tonis. It has been really an insightful input to this discussion. Just before we open up the panel for Q&A and then have the networking part, just a few words why we are organizing this. I'm part of ERICA, that's the global community of e-residents that represents these 85,000 that Raimo said is the current actual number of e-residents. And my personal motivation to be part of the e-residence community, to be an e-resident and to be even on the board of the Estonian E-residence organization, that also takes some time from my daily life, is that I really believe in this idea, in the ecosystem, in the community of helping each other, of making everything digital, and this is where I think the world is going to be. So others following Estonia, or in the end, the Estonian model getting scaled up worldwide of digital democracy, digital business, and everything fully transparent. I come from a country that, similarly to Hungary, is still in transition to a free market economy, to democracy. And some of my friends that stayed back in Bulgaria, after they make some profit of their companies, along with the bribe that they still have to pay, there are some shadow people that ask them to sell the key package of shares in their companies, or they will just liquidate the company. So these are ways that I see still the Eastern European part of the market might be not only in Bulgaria, but maybe in other countries, and not only there, but in other parts of the developing world. So if you're looking for something that is really secure, really impartial, with a high level of trust and strong support of like-minded entrepreneurs, of the government, that's why I also have here the ambassador, that's why we have Raimo and the e-residency team. It really works easy to sit down with them, with Tonis, on a table, speak informally, say what the problems are, and they look for a solution. Also, this is part of the way that the Estonian business culture is. It's very pragmatic, result-oriented, and not going around and ending into nothing. So this is also my personal story, and I don't know if it motivates you, discourages you, or you